Third Way was inspired by founder Michael Knowles' 20 years engagement as part of an international community known as Initiatives of Change. That gave rise to the Jubilee 2000 initiative to forgive Third World debt. This cleared the way and made the 8 Millennium Development Goals possible. The Co-Forum is the follow-on action from the Jubilee 2000 initiative and has been instrumental in accelerating the delivery of both the 8 Millennium Development Goals and the 17 SDGs. Together we are developing solutions inspired by the Coalition of Conscience, known as the Co-Forum, working collectively with others to think global and act local. 37,000 houses across Europe are already insulated to Passive House standards and are typically experiencing 90% energy savings, so much so that they don't need a boiler except for hot water. 37,000 is a drop in the ocean, and the reason the progress is so slow is due to the excessive thickness of conventional insulation required. Introducing Third Way Super Thinsulation, something so simple, so light and so adaptable to the needs, and less than a third thickness of other conventional insulation materials. Third Way Thinsulation enables Passive House standards of 90% energy cost savings, with comfort and health as required to meet the 2050 targets of 80% carbon reduction and to accelerate delivery of Sustainable Development Goal 7, affordable clean energy for all. Compared to other insulation products, Thinsulation overcomes the barriers of thickness, space saving, performance, cost and longevity. Thinsulation is fire resistant and is self-extinguishing as required for the most demanding standards to create the safest possible environment, with minimum fumes and longest time for escape in the event of fire. Thinsulation can be recycled and over 98% reused at end of life, making it a very sustainable product that uses less than 1% of the oil-based materials used in foam insulation. Compared to other vacuum insulation panels, or VIPs, Thinsulation has a lifespan of 60 to over 100 years, compared to other typical VIPs that only last between 15 to 50 years. Third Way is the only company in the world with the technology required to provide such longevity. We are also competitive price on price. Third Way Thinsulation is less than a third the thickness of conventional insulation and can be applied externally or internally. Thinsulation can be installed during or after a new build in various locations throughout the home, as cladding that can be rendered on external walls, internally on outside walls, as floor insulation and as an alternative to loft insulation, and also for underroof for loft conversions. As well as building applications, other uses could include chilled transportation, cold stores and refrigeration. To achieve the goal of bringing the U value of a home down to 0.1 by 2050, present insulation would have to be tripled to meet that requirement. Thinsulation will save on both space and cost, but what is a U value? A U value is a measurement of heat transfer from the inner to outer surfaces of a home. At present, a typical home will register 0.3. To reduce our carbon emissions by 2050, we need to get that down to 0.1 and enable Passive House standards of 90% savings. As advanced insulation becomes more available and stricter requirements on product life becomes mandatory, government regulations on landlords for refurbishments can be expected to become more demanding. To meet U levels of 0.1, using mineral wool, you would typically lose over 10% of your available living space. With PIR foam, this reduces to between 5 and 10%. However, for super thinsulation, you would only lose around 3%. The increase in living space would benefit landlords and homeowners alike, adding value to the property. Here at Third Way, we are looking for strategic partners and developers who share our vision and will explore other applications for Third Way Super Thinsulation, from social housing to hospitals and medical centres, universities and student accommodation to commercial office spaces. For every 100 people employed for the manufacturing process, we could have 1,000 installers. Here at Third Way, we can only fulfil our vision by working closely with strategic partners, and we are looking to form new alliances to help us with providers of appropriate finance and social investors, pilot installation projects, social and commercial landlords and projects, construction companies, and many others. There is a solution to these many complex needs. There is a way. Third way.